Gamers just don't care. No, they don't care. They don't want to hear about it. People play video games for escapism. They don't play video games to be patronized by some developer that lives in California. But again, it doesn't really matter unless people actually stop buying the games. Smart to assume everything's a political statement. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think what I'm saying is controversial at all. It seems obvious that they're doing things that are, they're trying to do something with a, you know, socio-political goal in mind. Like, whether you agree with it or not, that's what it seems like to me. I just need one more. Let the player choose the gender of the main character. Yeah, I don't really care. Like, the thing is, like, playing the female character, I don't give a shit about that. It doesn't matter. Changing the game. Like, I'm not a big Grand Theft Auto fan anyway. I've never really played a Grand Theft Auto game, so, like, this isn't really, like, this isn't my fight. I don't really care about it that much. But I'm just giving my opinion on it. You seen the Saints Row shit fest? No, I didn't see that. Wonder if things are changing in addition for a female lead. Well, exactly. Well, like, and this is like, I don't really know how much of this is even really true, but I know that Jason Schreier wrote an article about it, and he said that GTA was looking to move away from certain types of stereotypes and certain types of humor that they feel is dated. Like that was, and this was a conversation that involved the people that were developing the game. So like that's what I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with that. It's not political. Well, I like having games that have, you know, crazy, like, bad jokes in them. Like, I think it's funny. I don't want to have somebody take that away from me. I don't think it makes me a bad person either. Isn't that GTA trademark? Well, the thing is, like, if the game comes out and it doesn't resonate with people in that way, then it's a dead game, you know? Like, that's it. Is that noise taken away from you if they don't put it in there? Well, of course they are. Whenever you have an established franchise with an established set of expectations, and then you change the franchise and you change the expectations, you're clearly taking something away. Like, a lot of the people that are going to buy the new Grand Theft Auto game played the old Grand Theft Auto games. So change them to adapt to society's needs. Well, exactly, and that's what they're going to say, right? Is, oh, we're changing, this is society's needs. Number one, I think that it's not society's needs. I don't think this is the opinion of the majority of people, and I think that most people don't care about this stuff at all. There's only like a very small group of people that are very loud that care about it, and everybody else doesn't give a shit. So it's not that society needs anything. shout out the actual reason, which is to make the absolute amounts of profits over consumers becoming more experienced with seeing through it. Well, that's exactly right. And so, like, a lot of these companies, they use these types of, and this is what a lot of companies do nowadays, is they use social clauses as a way to market their brand. And you see this, like, every time that it's, like, Pride Month, like, every company changes their logo to a rainbow flag, except for all of their, you know, their accounts in Saudi Arabia or, you know, one of the other places in the Middle East that they make money in. Well, those don't change at all. Russia too, yeah, exactly. And so, like, I can't believe that people let that happen. It's shameless. Yeah, exactly. And, like, people have even come in with, like, it's so prevalent, people even call it now, like, rainbow marketing. It's insane. But they get people with it every single time. But yeah, you're right, it's about money. And so that's what they do, is because they know that people care about these social issues. And, you know, like, in general, I've always been a pretty big advocate for that kind of stuff. And, like, I in general agree with the social issue, but I just don't like the fact that Nike wants to put their brand on it. I find it to be, some people make the argument that, some people always make the argument, they're like, well, isn't it a good thing? Fuck. Isn't it a good thing anyway? Because, like, well, they're still doing a good thing. I would disagree with that. I think that it takes the entire issue and it compartmentalizes it and it contextualizes it around a brand. It taints it. It's not just pandering, it's you're attaching your brand to it. Hasn't always been about money. Well, that's what I was saying before, is if people stop buying the games, then it would go away. I think the truth is, like, most people don't really care about a lot of the, like, body 1 and body 2 type things because they don't really play the game for that reason. But, like, there will be a turning point where, you know, somebody will push it too far, and this has already happened with, like, certain types of things in games, and then people reject it. Care about body 1 and 2 because it's political? Well, then don't buy games that have body 1 and 2 in them. Complaining about Twitter and talking about it in Twitch chat, like, I just want you to know. I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, nothing you're saying here matters at all. Nobody cares. It will have no effect on anything. It's just completely, like, you're just totally wasting your time. That should be enough space. Don't forget your game bubble where you follow the news. Casuals like me don't give a fuck. They just open the game and play. Exactly, and that's literally what I just said, right? And it's the same argument that I've had for microtransactions and why gamers can't boycott microtransactions. Well, it's actually something I know very well. There's such a minority of people you need to convince are on those platforms. Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's why the Diablo Immortal stuff, like, everybody was like cheering. Like the way that I think that the stuff will get changed, I actually didn't. I was going to talk about this. Maybe I should talk about this today. After I do all these, by the way, this is the second to last one of these I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the videos and stuff. It'll probably be like maybe 40 minutes or so. I've just been wasting too much time doing this. Before should probably still have fun a game, because stupid reasons like body 1 and 2. Well, like to them it's not stupid, right? Yeah, I'm on Evoker at all? Yeah, probably. Oh yeah. So anyway, there was an article written, and the article was written about, it's on my likes on Twitter, and like the girl or the woman who wrote it, like I've talked to her before, and I think this is like her third article that she's written about gambling on Twitch. And basically she interviewed somebody who lost all of their money because they gambled on Twitch. And I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen, because like usually whenever these things get like, you know, what's considered like mainstream attention, people will get like much more, like there'll be like much more that happens, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen with this. No one really cares about the Gamba meta anymore. That's because everything has a timer, and people are only going to care about something for a certain period of time. And then after that timer is over, nobody's going to care about it anymore. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, like a Donald Trump controversy, COVID, microtransactions in video games, or anything. People just have a attention span, and at a certain point they just move past it and they don't care anymore. School shootings, yeah. Everything. This is like, yeah, Ukraine war. Hassan might talk about Gamba today, might have an uptick again. The problem is that people complain about Gamba, but they don't stop watching it. And even whenever they do stop watching it, other people come in and they watch it instead. So like, for example, you know, Trainwrecks, like if he does Gamba or Rosh or somebody like that, that's their highest viewership. And I know for me, whenever I do Gamba content, that gives me high viewership too. It's because people actually like watching Gamba content. It's just that there is a small outspoken minority of people that don't like it. But that group of people is very, very small. Look at the top of slots tab, view-botted stake scam. Well, I'm sure that there are some people who are view-botting. I don't think that Rosh or train view-bots. And even if like you have to think, like you won't let it go, you're so certain that they actually view-bot. I picked up the quest, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. I don't know why I thought I didn't pick it up. And every single time I talk about gambling content, you have people that are just so, they'll immediately talk about how boring it is and how much they don't like gambling content. But the truth is that gambling content, I remember whenever XQC would do it, like he would get, like his viewership would go up every single time he did Gamba content. So it's obvious that those people are not the majority. Because if they were, it would be true. Because like, why would people's viewership go up for content that everybody or people generally agree is boring? Well, I can tell you why. It's because they don't. That's why. Oh, fuck, I don't have a buff for that. Got him. Asphyxiate. Can you even get asphyxiate anymore? Yeah, you can. Alright. Let's do them all again. How is it fun to watch people not even gamble their own money, though? I'm not going to get into the psychology of why people watch gambling streams. Because, like, you can say people like watching it for, you know, like the morbid curiosity to watch how much money somebody's going to lose. They watch it because they think it's funny because somebody loses a lot of money. They watch it because they wish that they could gamble, but they can't, so they're doing it vicariously. They watch it because they think it's fun and they also gamble, and it's like this is just what they like watching on their free time. Like, yeah, like what I'm saying is like there's like a million different reasons why somebody would watch Gamba content. Egg? Oh. I need 3 more people for the maw. If anybody wants to come do the Covenant event. As we participate in exciting stakes without losing my own money. Yeah, exactly, and I think there's a lot of people like that. And so anyway, this article was written, and it was talking about how somebody lost all of their money. It's like, big surprise, somebody who was a viewer of gambling streams lost all of their money for gambling. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, what a surprise. Who could have ever predicted such a dramatic change of events? Probably thousands of people. Yeah, of course. People lack self-control blaming others. The thing is, like, I don't really feel bad for people that get involved in stuff like that. Because, like, for example, like, there are things that I do on my stream that I don't do on my stream, and I don't do those things because those things are, like, bad for me. And, you know, I know that ahead of time. It's like I used to never eat candy because my teeth were so broken and, like, rotten that candy would immediately make my teeth hurt. So, like, if I eat candy, is it really the candy manufacturer's fault? Not really. And, you know, the person even in the article admitted that they have an addictive personality. So, like, this is something they knew about themselves going into it, but they still chose to make that decision. And I do think that there should be a certain level of accountability on the person for making the decision, because there was a decision that was made, and the decision was a bad one, but it was a decision that they made. So, what I'm saying is that the personality is why I never tried to smoke or drink. Yeah, and so, like, if you know that this is something that's, like, it's not going to go very well with your personality, then you probably shouldn't do it. And this is kind of what I tell people is, like, I always use the example of, like, leaving your stuff in an unlocked car, where it's like, let's say you leave your stuff in an unlocked car and somebody steals all your stuff. You buy a brand new PS5, you leave it in your car, it's unlocked, You come back out the next day. What's going on? Wow. The PS5 is gone. Even if you get the police to apprehend the person who stole your PS5, you get your PS5 back in perfect condition. You get everything back the exact way you wanted it to, and the person that stole it goes to jail forever. You still lost hours upon hours of your life, time, mental state, and energy. You still lose. So you can't expect people to protect you proactively with everything. At a certain point, if you go into a room and there's a fork in the room and there's a light socket, and you put the fork in the room, in the light socket, I mean to say, that's your fault. Not even on a car, locked one. Don't leave stuff out in the vehicle like that. My point is that even whenever you get what you consider justice, justice is not free. Have you guys ever taken like an economics class where they talk about, you know, the idea of like there's no such thing as a free lunch? Yes. Well, that's what I mean. Opportunity cost. Yes, you're losing your time, you're losing your life. You're losing all of these things. Even if you're reimbursed, you're still paying. But what I'm saying is that like you're still paying even if the cops do it, because that's your tax money. So like even if let's say they ban gambling on Twitch, they'll still just do gambling on other websites. Like you're never going to be able to get away from it entirely. And so like people at a certain point, even if other people are bad for taking advantage of you, at a certain point you have to be responsible for not letting yourself get taken advantage of. Because ultimately nobody else in the world can be proactively accountable for your bad actions and bad decisions. And you still have to live with them and deal with them, even if you think that it wasn't fair. Or even if it wasn't fair. Even if you get completely fucked up. It may not be your fault, but it's your problem. I like that a lot. I think that's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It was his fault. It was somebody else's fault. It doesn't matter, because it's still you that's sitting at the police station, writing out a report, going on an investigation about, you know, like your stolen thing. You know, this is still time that you're spending. Your life is being invested into this. Can you apply that logic to abortion for women? No. I don't even know how you could do that. Like, I genuinely don't know how you could do that. That's I'm really I'm trying to think, like, okay, how would that even make sense? On-demand. Oh yeah, I mean, you could say like, yeah, even if you get an abortion, it's still going to take you time, right? And that's the thing. Like, yeah, sure. Like if you wanted to say, if this is what you're trying to say, I would agree with you, right? It's like, just because abortion's legal doesn't mean that you shouldn't wear condoms. Because getting an abortion takes money, it costs money, it takes time. You know, there are complications that could occur with an abortion. And it's just, in general, a lot easier to just not have it and wear a condom or use, you know, birth control or something like that instead. Emotional stress, traumatizing, exactly, right? And so, like, under that logic, yeah, you could use abortion as an example, sure. Do you believe addiction is a disease then? I don't know. I mean, like, it depends on, like, how you define disease. Like, I don't really care about the word that's used. Disease could be caused by your behavior. Well, what is a disease? Let me look up what the word disease means. Disease definition. Disorder is structure or function of human. One produces specific signs or symptoms. Direct result of is not simply a direct result of physical injury. I think in general, this is just like kind of what I think a lot of people think is that, wait, did I click it? I clicked it, didn't I? Yeah, I did. People view diseases, and this is generally how I look at it, is a lot of people probably view diseases as something that is, it's like material. Like, you know, like you get the Black Plague, or you get some sort of material infliction. It's biological, yeah, something like that. I don't know, like, I think calling it a disease is a little bit of obfuscation, and I think it's a word that is generally understood as something else, and I think that you should probably use a different word to categorize addiction, because I think that most people hear the word disease and they think of, you know, the Black Plague or something like that. Like, I think that a better word, I think there's a lot of words that would be better than disease. But if you're looking at the dictionary definition, I mean, it either matches or it doesn't, right? And it matches, so that's all there is to it. Oh fuck, I forgot to do this again. So obesity a disease? Well, it's like, again, according to the definition, I would probably say yes. But again, I think that, you know, whenever people think of a disease, they're thinking of like a physical or biological affliction rather than a mental disorder. But I think that, like, really it doesn't matter to me what people call it. I don't really care. I think people that are fixated around the word are just wasting their time. It doesn't really matter. It has nothing to do with it. I think that the problem that, and like this is the other real reason why, I think that whenever somebody says like you catch a disease or something, it makes me think that you did, like, something happened to you. And the truth is, with obesity in like almost all cases, and gambling in almost all cases, an initial bad decision is being made by the individual. So like you can say that, you know, making something a disease and conflating it with something like you know, COVID, for example, it basically, like, it removes some level of accountability that people should have. Yeah, like it removes account of like a personal responsibility. Just a lot of nuances. Yeah, I mean, like, this is generally the way that I look at, this is generally the way that I look at it. Type 2 diabetes is a disease. That's a really good example. And that's why, because, like, you're right, type 2 diabetes is generally caused by people's actions, but it's a biological effect. So, like, where does that land? That's interesting. I don't know. And again, I think that, like, focusing on the definition is, like, I don't really care about it that much. I do think that it should be people should have a certain level of personal responsibility whenever they're doing anything. They need to be accountable for, like, bad decisions they make, and if you take away somebody's personal responsibility for something, what you also do is you take away their agency to prevent it from happening again. If you say that everything that happened to you that's bad is not your fault, then what you're effectively saying is that everything that you're doing is right. Keep doing what you're doing. And I actually find that to be very, very dangerous. I think it's something that people say because it might make them feel good. No one says that in a clinic. I'm not talking about a clinic. I'm talking about just the general culture. Like, I don't know the best way to medically deal with people that have addictions. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I've no clue. I would never even say that I have any idea. Some of their faults or mistakes, so you don't have to deal with the issue. Yeah, that's what I think too. Give me the mount. Oh my god, how do you give me 5 items and one of them isn't the mount? That should not even be legal. Reap what you sow. Yeah, and I think again, like, to say that somebody is, say that somebody is a, is like not responsible for it, I do think is a bad decision, and I think that society should definitely, you know, maintain that there is a responsibility for each individual to not engage in things that they know are detrimental towards them. Like, you should definitely still be expected to do that. Alright, this is the last Maldraxxus one that I do. Every person is different. What's detrimental for one person may be beneficial for another. Yeah, I don't think that's really true. I think that, like, I mean, that's, I mean, if you want to talk about, like, some, like, abstract sense, like, sure, but, like, I'm not really in the business of having conversations in the context of a 1 in 10,000 outlier. It makes it to where you can't really have a conversation. Okay, I think I've pretty much made enough space now. Yeah, 18 slots. Something a lot of people struggle with daily. It hurts me that you're so harshly critical of addicts. Just because they made a bad decision doesn't disqualify them from help. Calling it an excuse. So Osiris, do you think that I think that addicts, do you think that I want to shut down addiction centers? So like, I'm just curious, like, I'm curious, what do you think that I think? Yeah, because you're saying like I wanted to disqualify them from help. So like, do I want to shut down addiction centers? Like, what do I want to do? I think you're quick to dismiss because you don't agree with their choices. No, like, so what do you think that I would change in the way that addicts are helped? So do you think that I would take away their access to therapy? What do you think? I think you wouldn't want your tax dollars to go towards it? Okay. Well, you're wrong. Alright, so that's over with. Let's see. Kill this. And Pavo's painful. Yeah, it's a baseless assumption that's built off of nothing. I understand that you're emotionally attached to the topic, but I'm really not. And so, like, your emotional attachment to the topic has prevented you from being able to think about it logically. That's what happened. Logic can be wrong. I'm not wrong. If I was, he wouldn't have to resort to putting words in my mouth. Got him. It seems to have dealt with from certain people for the last 20 years. Well, you're emotionally invested in it. I understand. But don't let that cloud your judgment. My mom, probably the biggest reason why she died was because of her addiction to cigarettes. So I understand what you're talking about. That's just the truth. That's what happened. And I told her when I was a kid, I was like, listen, this is gonna fucking kill you. And she's like, ooh. And it did. It fucking did. Just like I said. Sucks. Other people quit smoking. My dad quit smoking. She didn't. It was her choice. Sorry to go through it. It sucks, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh, fuck. I forgot to do the other one. Let me go do that. Well, I'm smokes and chooses to stay obese, so I get that. Yeah, it's like there's nothing that was making my mom like eat the way she did and have the diet that she did. It's not like she was addicted to that. I think that you know, as a person who knew her my whole life, she was a person that only did what she wanted to do, and would never compromise in any circumstance to doing anything that was potentially in her best interest in the long term if it was not pleasant for her in the short term. That's what she did. And that's the result of it. I hope she was happy. She was very happy. I think my mom was in general very happy. And, you know, I can definitely say that. I think you do the same. Well, I know that you might have, like, you know, people have, like, smart comebacks for that because you watch my stream on the internet, but I'm not sure if you know me as well as you think you do. Okay, that one's done. Now I can turn this in. Let me make the group now. I think I only have one character after this, and then I'm done. So you're gaming past or present in addiction? No, I don't really feel like I'm addicted to games. I'm just lazy and bad at making decisions sometimes. Feel bad for older generation of smokers. They didn't know the risk whenever they started. I did, and well, cool. Yeah, I do too. It sucks, but the thing is that some people overcome it and other people don't, and a lot of the people that don't overcome it are dead. And so it's like you can blame society or say, oh, well, it wasn't fair, but you're the one who's dead, so that's all there is to it. Yeah, take the complaint up with God. What's my point? The point that I'm making is that it doesn't really matter. Like, what I'm saying, right, is that it doesn't matter if it's somebody else's fault that you got swindled or taken advantage of. At the end of the day, it's still your responsibility to be accountable for yourself. That's the point that I'm making. Especially in regards to driving, yeah, the person may have run the red light, but if you don't check for it, you're dead. Yeah, exactly. Like, I assume that everybody who's driving, like, my dad always gets mad at people that are driving the wrong way, and I'm like, I never do, and he's like, why do you never get mad? It's like, I've rated in WoW. Like, I know how dumb people are. Like, this is not a surprise, like, oh wow, I can't believe this guy's not going whenever it's a green light. Well, he's on his phone. Well, why is he on his phone? He's driving. It's like, yeah, well, because he wants to check Twitter. Well, can he wait? No, he can't wait. He's gonna do it right now. And that's just all there is to it. You may not like that, but it's the truth. Nobody wants to come do this? Come on, guys. Come on, you know you want to come do it. It's easy to blame others than yourself. I'm 403 pounds, it's not McDonald's fault. It's fault to me. Always get McDonald's instead of PB&J for lunch. Yeah, and like, that's just, it is what it is, right? Like, for example, it's the same thing I said with my teeth, is that, you know, I have a lot of genetic dispositions that make my teeth worse than what they would be if I had, like, just a normal roll on my teeth. But I can guarantee you, if I didn't drink any soda and I didn't eat sugar constantly, my teeth would be in better condition than they are now. So it's a combination, but it's mostly probably my fault. Aside from teeth that fillings came out in, I think that, you know, fillings come out and the tooth is exposed, there's like not really much you can do. Yeah, it's like I didn't brush my teeth whenever I was a kid. It's like that's my fault. I did that. One more person. Yeah, it's not Dr. Pepper's fault. Yeah, Dr. Pepper didn't do this to me. Drinking soda through a straw is even worse. I heard it was better. Because it doesn't touch as many of your teeth. Most mouth contact, yeah. Inject soda so you don't risk your teeth. Yeah, true. Problem solved. I'll give you guys like 2 minutes to get over here, then we'll get this done. I got, I think, one more character, and then we're gonna do the videos. Spent over decades dental professional, suffering up against genetic predisposition of teeth and gum issues. Something taking good care of you, dentist. Thanks, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I feel like I got really good roles with a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tall, I'm naturally thin, I have perfect eyesight, I have perfect hearing, I have, like, no problems with, like, a million other things. You know, I don't really get sick a lot. Like, I got food poisoning one day. The next day, I'm, you know, after an hour of throwing up all over myself, I'm up, I'm doing fine. You know, I'm 32 now. And all my friends that I know that are my age are not doing the same as I am. So, you know, like, I think I got lucky with a lot of other stuff, so it's like, my teeth are fucked up, but it's like, well, you know, you can't win them all. Are you sick all the time? No, I got COVID, and I got no medical treatment for it at all, because I didn't want to have them get sick too. And I looked at it, I'm like, I'm probably not going to die, so it's whatever. And I had like one bad day, and that was it. Shame about the hairline. No, hey, you can't win them all, you know? Like, that's, it is what it is. True American Health, I'm not gonna go, so it's whatever. No, it's not that I can't pay for it, it's that, I didn't want to put the doctors and nurses at risk. And I felt stupid because I wasn't taking enough COVID precautions. Admittedly, I wasn't. And, you know, now I'm paying the price for it, and I don't want that to affect other people. I knew I would be okay. You plan on going to TwitchCon? I don't know. What is the other two guys? Oh, they're on their way. Great. Make sure to talk to this NPC. Like, choose the fighter. Could damage your lungs, though. Yeah, I actually, Like, I remember I walked over to my dad's house, and, it was like 100 degrees, and his house is like, you know, it's pretty far away from mine. It's just like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how far away, but I walked over there, and I wasn't really that tired at all. Afterwards, I was kind of surprised. But, like, one time okay, yeah, we're all good to go. One time I went out, I was like walking down to the store, it was like 5 in the morning, and like whenever I was walking down, I felt like something weird on like my chest, and it like really freaked me out because I was like 28 or something like that at the time, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like that, and like it was the first time like I felt insecure in my own body, I guess. Like, not, you know, I'm gonna wear a t-shirt at the pool, but you know, like I don't feel like I'm okay, and it just completely freaked me out. And like I just, like, ever since then, it took me, like, I'm not even kidding you, like probably 2 years to get over that. Maybe even longer, like mentally. Feeling your chest. It was really hard for me to describe. Like I can't really describe it, and it's been such a long time. I don't remember quite as well. But anyway, yeah, how'd you get over it? Just time. One time I pissed her out, it scared me a lot. Bro, I had the same thing happen. One time I took a shit, and my shit was like solid fucking green. Like, I'm talking about like green, like this green. And I was like, bro, like what, like I was freaking out, man. Like I was totally freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like, am I gonna die? Like, what is this, right? And I realized that I had gone to Taco Cabana a couple of days ago, and it was St. Patrick's Day. So they used a bunch of like green food coloring in the tortilla chips, and I ate all of them. And yeah. But yeah, dude, like I was so fucking, I was terrified, man. Saw you in a YouTube short today, and the guy used your speech about if someone fucks me over, I fuck them back 10 times harder. I think 10 times is a bit of an understatement. But yeah, that's about right. Oh, shit. Any beats gives you some fat? Yeah. I could scare shot? Yeah, well, literally did. And yeah, I was freaking out, man. Got him. Red one's even scarier? Oh, I bet it was. If it was red, I would have gone to the fucking emergency room. I would have been freaking out. I can only imagine. But yeah, anyway, I don't remember why I even brought that up. It was just some fucking funny story I thought of. But yeah, the whole thing with that. Oh yeah, about like that article was written about like kids watching streamers like gamble. I thought about doing this with Twitch and telling Twitch that if they didn't have gambling, and I probably would, I would do this if I wasn't an OTK, I didn't have like an org and everything. I would tell them like, listen, if you don't ban gambling by the end of the year, I'm going to gamble on stream and I'm going to promote it as hard as I possibly can. I'm going to tell people they can win money. I'm going to tell people that they can rebuild their life. I'm going to tell people that they'll be billionaires. I'm going to do everything. It's like, because apparently nobody else will listen. Yeah, we're going to get it twisted in here. Right? Yeah, get them really twisted. And I would do that if it wasn't for the org and everything. But it's just, I don't want to have, like, other people involved with my shenanigans. Why do we have to bring in the elites, boys? Like, why can't we just kill the non-elites? June, September 12th, 2013. Probably doing Throne of Thunder. Yeah. Get it twisted, gamble. Please start gambling. Gambling is an investment. Yeah, like I would do it I would be as bad as possible. Because I think that Twitch is only going to do something about it if it gets to an extreme. So it's like, well, why not just push it to that extreme? But, you know, I'm not going to do that. You're probably right. Yeah, it's like, so it's unfortunate that like people have to fucking ruin their lives for Twitch to realize that they're making a bad decision. Why do you care if people gamble? I don't really care about them, and I don't care if they get, I don't care if people go bankrupt because of gambling addiction. They don't matter to me. I don't know them, and I don't really care about people that I don't know that well, right? That's the truth. But I don't think it's good. It's like in a way that like while I don't personally care about the people or like how it affects them or anything about them, and I even think that they're stupid for letting it happen to them. I don't think this is good for the website, and I don't think it's good for society. There's less money for me? What do you mean? Like, because I mean, I could take a gambling sponsorship and they'd give me a lot of money. How much do they give you? I have no idea. Morality, please. Well, it's not morality. I don't view it as morality. I view it as I said, you know, it's the golden rule that I base everything off of. If everybody in the world did this, could the world function? The answer to that is no. If the answer to something like that is no, then the odds are that it's a bad thing. Your first big paycheck from Twitch shocked you? I don't know. I mean, I remember I screenshotted it like the first time I had over $1,000 in my bank account. Oh, what, bro? Are you kidding me? 27 attempts on this fucking thing. When I try to help people if they have a problem in something, engaging is harm them. So what if it's their own fault? Well, you have to help people like that. Like, I've always thought that it's a mistake to make it where, like, having a drug is, like, illegal. I'm not an advocate for this. That, like, oh, if you have drugs in your possession, you should go to jail. Even if it's something crazy like heroin. Because I think that it makes people, like, less likely to seek help, and it's just not a good thing. Now, obviously, like, people selling drugs, I think that's bad, and, like, I'm okay with, you know, people buying and selling weed. I don't really care about it, because I don't really view it as, like, as harmful as something like, heroin or fentanyl or something like that. But, you know, somebody who's just doing the drugs, I don't really think that's, but gamble is bad. Rhino, what logical inconsistency have you perceived? What have you perceived? Here we go. One more, let's go. And then we're doing videos. So opioid addiction in the US is bad as media portrays it? Yes, it is, but it's not what media portrays it as. The media portrays it as if it's this massive, you know, like, black market. But the truth is, the reason why there's such a big opioid crisis is because of them being prescribed. Them being overprescribed by doctors. And people getting addicted to prescription drugs and then having those drugs taken away from them, and then those people choosing illegal options to maintain their addiction that was created by a doctor. You're waiting on Rhino. Rhino's done. Like, he's... The thing is, there are a lot of people who... like, and this is just what happens, right? Is, like, if you... Like, what do I really do? Like, I pretty much just sit on here and give my opinions on everything all the time, right? I just talk about stuff. And so you're always going to get people like him that listen to what you say, but they don't really listen. They listen to half of it, and then they think that they have a point, and so they type something out. Wait, what? Oh, fuck. Can you guys resummon me? Yeah, I'll go back this way. Actually, you guys can't summon me. I gotta do this. Yeah, so you're saying syndrome. Yeah, exactly. And so, like, because a lot of people, they, you know, they'll watch different debates on YouTube or things like that. And they'll kind of structure, like, they'll know a way to argue against a certain point. So they'll try to turn your point into the point that they know how to argue against. Does that make sense? Do you have a source on the drug thing? Which drug thing? That fentanyl's worse than weed? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Oh, the opioid crisis. Oh, that. To be honest with you, no, I don't. Dorothea, wait, somebody. Oh shit. It's what I've read before. But the truth is, like, I don't have data in my mind about it, and I probably should. Like, I think the data would be relatively easy to find, because like a lot of like doctor prescriptions and things like that are, you know, these are public record to a certain degree. John Oliver made wholesome. Yeah, like, I mean, I know a lot of people talk about it, right? But like, I don't. You're right. I don't have any real data about that. I'm like pretty certain that it's true, but not 100%. Okay, there we go. I have to go back over there now. Hard drugs shouldn't be illegal. What's the solution then? I don't think legalizing them is going to make problems any better. No hate. I think that treating people like they are addicted and a victim of addiction is better than treating them like a criminal. And I think that if people had, if people knew that they could seek help rather than be punished or, you know, like go to jail or something like that, I think they would be more willing to look for help. And so you would actually probably see more people actually trying to, you know, get over these addictions because they're not worried about it damaging their life. That's what I think. Like, that's what makes sense to me logically. Thank you. Ten people died from heroin fentanyl overdose. Yeah. It's just, it's bad, man. It is. Like, I don't understand the mind of a person who chooses to do fentanyl or heroin. Like, I couldn't imagine being in a state of mind that I would actively make that decision ever. Like, I don't understand it. But like, the truth is, like, those people, if you don't help them, the problem also is, like, if you don't help them, they will become a liability in society, right? And like, you can't kill them, and so you just have to deal with them. So it's like, like, what's the best way to deal with somebody like that? Yeah, no, I mean, some countries do. That's what they do. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, Duarte did that. Yeah, that's my understanding. Other people have done it too. So excited for you to get them out here. Yeah, this is gonna be it, guys. I can just feel it. 100% this time. I put a lot of attempts into this shit. I feel like it should drop by now. Like, the other two mounts I got so fast. Sure about the WNBA star, got 9 years in Russian jail. Brittany Griner, yeah, I heard about her. I mean, like, in general, I think that's just bullshit. I think the people that are okay with her being in jail in Russia are only people that, like, they didn't, like, her comments about how she didn't like America, etc. Like I disagree with her. I think she's a moron for saying that. But I don't think that. I think it's also a travesty that she's in jail. I don't know about comments. Yeah. How ironic. Well, the thing is, like, that's what it is, right? People would rather have a gotcha moment than have justice be served, because the gotcha moment allows them to feel smart or feel like vindicated or whatever. The truth is, like, we have people in America that are in jail for weed, and people aren't getting outraged about that. I think people should also be equally, actually more outraged about that. How is that not justice? Russia has a different set of rules. Well, this is my judgment on it, right? Like, this is my opinion on the topic. Like, I think that the law is, like, for example, if somebody is gay and they get killed because they go to a country that doesn't like gay people, well, that's the law there. Well, yeah, you're right, that is the law there, but I think it's bullshit. Yeah, it's the difference between justice and the law. Yeah, I don't care about the law. Law doesn't matter. Law changes all the time. Okay, go back over here, get this last one done. Just don't go to countries, these crazy laws. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, it was her decision to go there. She should have known that. She probably did know that. And she did it anyway. It's not that she's without fault. It's that, number one, the fault should have never been there in the first place, because it's a ridiculous thing to even assume that somebody should go to jail for having a weed pen. It's ridiculous. And I also dislike the conservatives that are acting, you know, they're like basically cucking for Russia because somebody that disliked America is in Russian jail. Like, it's a bullshit law, and it's really annoying to see that. They're hypocrites? Of course they are. They're absolutely. It's just, it's so transparent. I mean, liberals and conservatives are hypocrites all the time. Like, nobody has a monopoly on this. But this is just an example of it that I dislike. She gonna die in prison? No, probably not. I assume they'll probably get her out. What happened whenever we hated commies? You realize last time we hated commies, we put up a bunch of statues of fucking Confederate generals who lost the war, and we added under God into the fucking Pledge of Allegiance, right? I don't think that we need to go back into reflexively disliking an ideology like that. I think communism is stupid too, but I don't want to have it be treated like the way it was. I'll wait for this one. You have different opinions on what communism means? Well, all I'm saying is that I think that, I think in general, like, people that work hard should be rewarded for good work, and, you know, like, that's a good thing. People be able to own the fruits of their labor and be able to own their labor in general. I think that's a good thing. And people being able to make a lot of money off of it, I think, is okay, too. Everything in an extreme is probably bad. It's like not enough water will make you die of thirst and too much will make you drown. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't at least have a conversation about where the middle ground is. Of course, not like communism, you're rich. I mean, it's not like I liked communism whenever I was poor. What makes you think that you're not going to be poor under communism? No idea. Most people hate communism, but socialism is a safer alternative. Yeah, I think that with anything, certain ideas should be looked at objectively, and, you know, whether this is a good idea or not. I think that people take too much of, like, they hear communism or socialism, and they just assume that, like, these things are just universally bad. Alright, here we go. Please just give me the fucking mount. I don't want to do this again. Please, 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 fuck. Do you think communism, true understanding of communism, considering they didn't experiment it? I think, I mean, everybody's gonna have, like, it's like God. Like, what is God? Like, everybody has a different definition of what it is. It's the same as capitalism, right? Some people are like, oh, well, you know, it's because of capitalism that we have people like Bobby, but, like, there's plenty of other, like, every society in history has had, like, massive wealth inequality, as far as I know. Okay, so let me go back around here. All right, I'll be right back and use the bathroom. Then I'm gonna start. Alright, I'm back. Give me a minute. Okay.